The rain on Newgaia was almost melodic. It fell in synchronized, spiraling droplets, a product of the planet's artificial weather regulation. The sky shimmered with a faint blue tint, broken only by the spire-tipped silhouettes of the enclave towers. Inside one of them, on level 772A, a maintenance worker named Elias Hart adjusted the grip on his synthetic glove and wiped his brow. He didn't belong here. Everyone knew it. The citizens of Newgaia were genetically sculpted, physically perfect, and emotionally calculated. Elias, however, was born naturally on old Earth, a planet most now considered a myth. He was short, broad-shouldered, and stubbornly human in a society that preferred engineered predictability. Still, he worked hard, fixed heating cores, rewired oxygen regulators, never complained, mostly because he had no one to complain to. At night, in the tiny sleep pod he rented monthly, Elias would stare at the faded hologram of a family photo. His parents, both gone in the Earth exodus. A brother lost to deep space piracy. All he wanted was a connection, someone to call family. Not a programmed companion or a synthetic friend, but something real. So when the emergency alert blinked across his HUD, Gen-Tech containment breach, Sector Delta 99, biological assets escaped. He didn't expect his life to change, but it did. Because that night, while searching a darkened ventilation shaft in the wreckage of the genetics lab, Elias found her. Middle. She was curled up between loose wires and collapsed ducts, eyes glowing faintly, her silver-tinted skin glistening with moisture. First, Elias thought she was another android. Then she breathed. He froze, heart hammering. "Hey!" he whispered, kneeling slowly. "You, okay?" She growled, low and warning. Her body shook, defensive. Elias raised his hands. "Not gonna hurt you. Metech. Maintenance." No response, just cautious eyes and trembling limbs. Then he saw the tag on her neck. Subject V77/Gen-Tech experimental hybrid/status. Terminate. Elias didn't move for several seconds. She looked like a young woman, maybe in her 20s, but her irises flickered like starfire, and beneath the thin blanket of bruises, her skin had almost reptilian scales that shimmered in the dark. "I'm not going to turn you in," he whispered. "You hungry?" That was what cracked her wall. A subtle twitch, a glance, and the slightest nod. He didn't report her. He brought her scraps from the cafeteria, purified water, stolen blankets. He cleared out an old service tunnel in the underlevels, made it warm, safe. Days passed, then weeks. She started speaking, one word at a time. Her voice was rough at first, untrained. Like language was a new skill she hadn't fully grasped. "Why help me?" she asked one evening, her voice barely a breath. Elias was scrubbing oil from a conduit. "You looked like you needed help." "That's simple." He smiled. Simple's underrated. Her name, or what he came to call her, was Vera, derived from the V on her ID tag, and the word veritas, truth. She seemed to like it. Over time, she started mimicking things he said, watching him with intense, analytical eyes as if studying every move. But there was also something else. A loneliness. "I wasn't born," she said once. "I was grown. For war." Elias nodded quietly. He didn't ask for details. She gave them anyway. They'd mixed alien DNA, feral psychic strains from dead worlds, with advanced synthetic organs to create hybrid weapons. She was one of 12. All the others were gone, killed when they resisted programming. "I ran before they erased me," she said. "I didn't want to kill anymore. I didn't want to be what they made." Her voice cracked then, and Elias had to turn away. Because in her he saw everything he longed for. Someone real, someone hurting, someone alive. She wasn't human. Not fully. But neither was she a monster. And when he offered her a place to stay in his hidden compartment behind the wall panels of his pod, she blinked like she didn't understand. "A home?" she asked. He hesitated. "Yeah. Just temporary until we figure something out." She stepped inside. That was the beginning. The weeks turned into months. Vera learned fast. She read, absorbed everything: literature, history, old earth music. She became obsessed with it. Especially sound. She loved listening to music on Elias's cracked audio player. She'd hum along to old songs from before the Exodus. Ballads of loss, of family, of hope. One night, as an old earth lullaby played through static, she said something that made Elias go still. "This feels like what I want to be." He turned to her. "What's that?" "More than a weapon." He didn't reply at first. Then he took her hand, slow, gentle. "You already are." But peace couldn't last. Someone saw her, half glimpsed in a ventilation mirror, and reported it. Security sweeps began. Biometric scans intensified. Elias panicked. "We have to get you off-world," he said, rummaging through old smuggler contacts. "Someplace you can be safe." "I don't want to leave you," she whispered. He paused. He wanted to say the same. But what life could she have here? "Family means staying, doesn't it?" she asked one night, sitting beside him as the artificial moonlight pulsed over Newgaia's skyline. "Yeah," Elias said quietly. "It does." She tilted her head. "Then I'll stay." The raids began a week later. They tore through maintenance sectors, hunting for unauthorized biomorphs. Elias rigged every trap he could: EMP mines, signal scramblers, false heat signatures. It wasn't enough. One night, as they hid inside a maintenance drone hangar, they were cornered. Drones buzzed above. Soldiers fanned out. "You have to go," Elias said, pressing a stolen access card into her hand. "Vera, there's a freighter leaving in 10 minutes. I bribed the manifest drone. You can get out. They won't scan." "No. Vera, please." She stepped forward and did something she'd never done before. She hugged him. It wasn't perfect. A bit mechanical. But her arms were tight, trembling. "You're my family, Elias." He felt his throat tighten. "Go," he choked out. "Live." She looked at him one last time, eyes shimmering with unnatural light. Then she ran. Ending. The next few hours were chaos. He was arrested, interrogated, beaten. They never found her. Only a fake heat signature, and traces of genetic ash from a destroyed sample canister he'd planted. They let him go eventually. No proof. He returned to his pod. Alone. The silence hurt. Weeks passed. He kept working, face harder, quieter than before. Then one day a tiny comm device arrived. No sender ID. No traceable signal. Just a message file with one line of text. "Rain sounds like home." He played the audio attachment. First static. Then a gentle hum. Music. The same lullaby they used to play, but this time sung. A voice. Familiar, unsure, but full of emotion. Vera's voice. Singing. The message repeated once. Then the recording ended. Elias didn't cry often. But that night, he sat beside the pod window as the rain fell in spiraling, synchronized drops, and let the tears come freely. Epilogue. 3 years later, an unregistered transport ship docked illegally on the outskirts of the Orion 4 colony. A woman stepped out, tall, silver-tinted skin cloaked in worn traveler's garb. She carried no weapons. only an old, broken audio player in her coat pocket. She asked for a man named Elias Hart. When the colonists hesitated, she smiled, soft and genuine. "Tell him family's here."